And a pleasant good afternoon to you all, or good morning, or good evening, whenever you see this, wherever you see this. This is Big Polly coming to you with some more HTFL football, the Hometown Football League. Today it's the Battle of Ohio. It's one first of two matchups between Cleveland and Cincinnati. Cleveland trying to become the fourth team, I should say, to go to 3-0 to start the season. The game will be in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland a 22-point favorite, despite Cincinnati playing a couple of very entertaining games. One against Baltimore, who had both teams going in the 40s, and then they lost 41-34 to Indianapolis. 75 degrees and calm winds in Cleveland for this game. No precipitation in the air. And we will see who won the toss. It was Cincinnati winning the toss and deferring, so Cleveland will get the ball to start the game. Kenny Anderson and Milt Plum are your quarterbacks. Plum again filling in for Otto Graham, who was injured week 1. Sam Weich will be the head coach for Cincinnati. Paul Brown, coaching legend, will be patrolling the sidelines for Cleveland. Eric Metcalf, back deep for Cleveland. They will be in the brown squares, Cincinnati in the white. Taken at the goal line, and Metcalf moves straight ahead to the 23 for a 22-yard gain. The offense for Cleveland will be as follows. Brown and Motley, your running backs. Mitchell, Warfield, your wide receivers. Winslow, your tight end. Plum, your quarterback, as aforementioned. Thomas and Hickerson. Thomas, Hickerson, Mack, Willis, Shafraff. I'll get it right one of these times. That will be your offensive line. We'll set the Cincinnati defense for you after this 1st and 10 play. A trap to Jim Brown. And they lose a yard on that, but
offense,
it will come
number
back.
77, 5-yard penalty.
And of course, it was the guy whose name I couldn't pronounce, Shafraff, who gets called for offensive offside. Move back Cleveland 5, and it'll be 1st and 15 from the 18. Smith and Dunlap are your defensive ends for Cincinnati. Atkins and Reeve at defensive tackles. Spikes, LeClaire, Perfect, your linebackers. Parrish and Riley, your corners. Casanova and Nelson, your safeties. On this 1st and 15 play, we'll give it to Motley, trap right. That is a gain of 4 yards as Spikes pulls them down at the 22, so they nearly get the penalty yards and back entirely. This game uses the historical set of Action PC Football that Dave Koch Sports puts out. This is the brand new version, the 2020 version that's been out a few months now as I record this on June 20th. Jim Brown, off tackle to the right. And Brown with a head of steam, 22 yards. Parrish makes the stop for the Bengals. I think the strategy for Cleveland will be to try to keep it on the ground as much as possible with two good running backs in the backfield. Trap right, Marion Motley on 1st and 10 from the 44. He picks up a few, but a marker down.
Offense, number 77, 10-yard penalty.
Shafraff. Now I got it. He gets called for the holding penalty. And it's now 1st and 20. We'll go double tight end. We're going to double down on the tight ends here. Trap it left to Jim Brown. He picks up 3. LeClaire on the tackle for the Bengals. Make it 2nd and 17 now. We'll go Motley on a short pass. And he completes it. A nice call as Cincinnati had a multiple defensive back. They had a dime set. Just as you can see here, 6 defensive backs just flanked out in like a rainbow shape. They brought in Ambrose and Breeden to form a dime package. So after that gain of 9 yards, it is 3rd down and 8, I should say. We'll go Winslow, and we will go plus route, short hitch. Stead Warfield finds the pass of Milt Plum, and he catches it for a gain of 9. He got 6 passes last week against San Diego for 134 yards. As I said, Cleveland trying to be the 4th team in the HTFL so far to go 3-0. First and 10, ball at the 45 of Cincinnati. We're going to trap it right and go right back to Jim Brown. Cincinnati's got to know that he's going to get the ball a lot of times. It'll just be a question of whether or not he could be stopped. A gain of 7 yards on the trap right. Parrish makes the tackle at the 38. And we will go dive play Marion Motley. On this next play, a 2nd and 3, and he goes straight ahead and he picks up 9. Nothing fancy about what Cleveland does. They just play good old-fashioned football. And now a trap to the left for Jim Brown, but a marker down. Hold on.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty.
They book Marion Motley for the hold. 1st and 20. We're just going to give the ball right to him on a trap right. And Motley nearly gets it all back. 19 yards. As they continue to run wild on this Bengal D. Off tackle right, Marion Motley, as Brown needs some rest, and they get the first down. With the Cincinnati defense all bunched in, it might be time for a little play action here. We're going to go to Mitchell for just that purpose. And it's incomplete. And that will set up a 2nd and 10 from the 19. We'll go Warfield medium slant in the base formation. Instead, it's a dump off to Brown, and he gets 10. And a first down. Back to the double tight end set, and we will go Motley, trap right. Motley with a head of steam and a touchdown. Marion Motley from 9 yards out gives the Browns the lead. Here's the point after, and that was by Matt Barr, and it's good. So it's now 7-0 Cleveland with 6:52 left. That was a nice time-consuming drive for them to start the game. The Bengals now will get their first possession. Yeast back deep. As they seem to see many times they played against Indianapolis for the Bengals, and he returns it to the 20 and will set the offense for Cincinnati for you. Dillon and Johnson, your running backs. Hujmanzada and Green, your wideouts. Ross, your tight end. Anderson at quarterback from Augustana College. Munoz, Steinbach, Johnson, Montoya, Anderson, your offensive line will set the Cleveland defense after this first play. Anderson, looking, cannot find Hujmanzada as he threw underneath him. As he threw underneath to Hujmanzada, they're probably looking for a bigger passing play, but couldn't find it, so that was the dump-off plan. Here's the defense for Cleveland. Ford and Burnett, your defensive ends. Rimkus and Shirk are your defensive tackles. Sounds like a law firm. Banks, Johnson, Matthews, your linebackers. Dixon and Minifield, your corners. Darden and James will be your safeties in the base formations. 2nd and 10 from the 20 now. Anderson looks and finds A.J. Green. And that was good for 25. Anderson, as I was mentioning, had a great game against the Colts. 369 yards last week, 25 for 36 for 2 touchdowns. Also there were a few turnovers for Cincinnati in that game, if I recall correctly. 1st and 10 at the 45 now for Cincinnati. They go to Dillon, and Dillon's got nothing. Chris Collinsworth will enter the game as a 3rd wide receiver on this play. 2nd and 10 from the 45. Anderson fumbles, loses a yard. He recovered his own fumble. 3rd and 11 now at the 44. So must make play here for Cincinnati. Here's Dillon, and Dillon only gets 6 yards. And that puts the ball right at midfield for the punt. And we have a problem here. McAnally could not get the kickoff. on a bad snap, and it was a Chinese fire drill. Dixon makes the tackle, and Cleveland starts in excellent shape at the Cincinnati 39. 3:43 left in the first quarter. We're going to go off tackle right, Jim Brown. And Brown with a 4-yard gain. We're going to pitch it right and go to Motley. Just keep it on the ground, not do anything fancy here. First down, and move the ball to the 29. We'll go Brown, and we will go off tackle right again. Just keep hammering them. This time a gain of only a yard. Reed on the stop. We'll go Motley, and we will not trap right because they would be kind of expecting that because we've been doing that so often. We're going to go just a simple dive. And up the middle for 5 yards to make it 3rd and 4. And when you got Jim Brown in the backfield, you could sweep to the left on 3rd and 4. And he didn't make it. Short by a yard. Parrish makes the tackle at the 20. Now on 4th and 1, do you go for it? I say yes. We'll give it on a dive to Jim Brown. And he's short. He's short. A little too much gusto for the Browns there, and the Bengals take over at their own 20 with 9 seconds left in the opening quarter. Should be the last play. And that is to Johnson, and it's a gain of 13. Your score at the end of the first quarter, Cleveland 7, Cincinnati nothing. Back with you to start the second quarter now, 7-0 Browns. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 32 now for Cincinnati. They trail 7-0. But I think I said that already. Gain of 8 as Dillon picks up those yards. Johnson on the tackle for Cincinnati. 2nd and 2 from the 40. And marker down.
Ball start. Offense. Number 89. 5-yard penalty.
That's on Ross, the tight end. So that 2nd and 2 turns to a 2nd and 7. Ball at the 35 now of Cincinnati. Nearly said 6. Quick pass to Green, and it's completed for 10 yards. 1st and 10, ball at the 45. The give is to Dillon. Dillon with a head of steam, 10 yards and just short of the first. And that was Johnson on the stop again for Cleveland. Going to be 2nd and inches now from the 45. This time it's Dillon, and he is again just short of the first down. Cincinnati 0 for 1 on 3rd down conversions and very young in this game. 3rd and inches from the 45. They give to Dillon. This time Dillon does have the first, a gain of 2. Cincinnati likes to pass on 1st down. It's a 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 43. This time Dillon runs for 7 yards. Will be a 2nd and 3 now from the 36. Anderson runs, but a marker down.
Grabbing the face mask. Defense. Number 72. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Shirk twisted the face mask of Anderson, and that's 15 to tackle onto the run. And that moves it to the Cleveland 15 now, a 1st and 10. Cincinnati. Johnson with a trap right, gain of 3. Dixon on the stop for Cleveland. 2nd and 7 at 12. I was going to say the game seems to have turned around since that 4th and 1 stand by Cincinnati. See if that continues. They throw it to Dillon. Dillon has 6. Corey Dillon on a pass from Kenny Anderson. And we have a tie game with Graham's extra point. It's 7-7. Metcalf back deep now for Cleveland, and he will take a knee. With that running game that Cleveland has, they're just going to let them use it here. Jim Brown on a dive on 1st and 10. Just back to the line, that's all. Fumble on the play, recovered by Spikes, and he goes all the way for a score. Now, fortunes can change in this game. Here's the point after by Graham, and just like that, it's 14-7 Cincinnati. Once again, Metcalf back deep.
Illegal block. Receiving team.
A nice return, but a illegal block penalty forces Cleveland back to their own 9. How about a bomb to Warfield here, a long pass? Oh, that was a bad call as Plum gets strapped for a 7-yard loss. So things go from bad to worse here in Cleveland for the Browns. All right, trap right Jim Brown on a 2nd and 17. The graphics aren't going to show you anything here. It was a pickup of 16 yards by Brown to make it a 3rd and 1. We're going to give it to him, and we're going to trap it to the right. He's just short of the first down again. So again, they're keying on Brown now. And Gary Collins will go back deep for the punt. Yeast catches it at the 39 and loses 2 on the return, so back him up to the 37. Cincinnati's own 37 for a 1st and 10 with 6:43 left until the half, and this game has turned around in a hurry. The Bengals lead 14-7. Anderson to Dillon underneath again, and that's 10 yards and a 1st down. So far, Anderson 4 for 5, 57 yards and a touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Johnson, and Johnson picks up 3 on the left side. Menafield makes the tackle for Cleveland. 2nd and 7. Give to Johnson with running room, this time 11 yards. He was tackled by another Johnson, that being Mike Johnson out of Virginia Tech. 1st and 10, ball to 39. Anderson throws, but actually he was in the process of being sacked, but he had just flipped it to Dillon at the last moment, or attempted to, and it was an incomplete pass. And they rule it an incompletion. 2nd and 10, ball to 39 now. Passing the flat to Dillon. Dillon with running room, and he gets 16 yards. Cleveland now in trouble. 1st and 10 at the 23 for Cincinnati. And Anderson runs again, and he picks up 15. Nice run for Kenny Anderson out of Augustana. We'll profile him for a moment. See him there. Had that great game against the Colts. A 1st and goal at the 8 now for the Bengals. A team you do not want to go to sleep on, just like Cleveland has. And a 5-yard gain for Johnson. After Shirks tackles him at the 3, it's a 2nd and goal. Loss of 1 for Dillon on that rush. Matthews makes the tackle at the 4, and looks like we will go to the 2-minute warning, and we will. 14-7 Bengals. 3rd and goal now at the 4. Touchdown. Anderson to A.J. Green, and it's going to be 21-7 here in a moment if this extra point is good, and it is. 21-7. Each team with all 3 timeouts left, and there's a $1.53 left in the half. Straight ahead goes
Holding,
Metcalf,
receiving team.
but another holding penalty. Move the ball back to the 13 for a 1st and 10 play. We're going to look for Warfield on a medium out and see if we can get the ball moving here. Incomplete. We'll go to Brown, off tackle right, on 2nd down. See if that opens up, and it's a gain of 6. Cleveland will go quick to the line. Short hitch to Winslow. We get it, we'll call a timeout. We don't get it. Incomplete. So Collins back to punt. And Cincinnati's going to have all 3 timeouts and the ball. And the second half kickoff.
Holding, receiving team, 10-yard penalty.
Casanova. It's called for a hold, and it's 1st and 10 for the Bengals at the 29. Now, did they just play it safe and go to halftime? with the field position not favoring them. They go to Green. Green runs down the sidelines, picks up 12 before he steps out of bounds. First and 10 at the 41 now. Anderson in the shotgun, and that's incomplete. Was looking for Hujmanzada on that. Second and 10, same spot, 41. A screen deflected, nearly picked off by Matthews. Third and 10 from the 41. Nobody's used the timeout yet. They go underneath to Dillon, and he picks up 9. 22 seconds left in the half. I'm going to go for a block. What the heck? If I got a penalty, they still got to go a ways to kick a field goal. Instead, the punt goes off without a hitch. Near the sideline, out of bounds at the 11, pick up a 39. 16 seconds left now. What the heck? We're going to go for a long one here. We're going to look for Mitchell. Plum goes long, and that's not a strong suit of his. He checks down to Brown. Incomplete. 10 seconds left. And they don't want to do what Joe Theismann did at Super Bowl 18 and give up an interception and a touchdown. Dive to Jim Brown and let's get out of here. No gain. Brown will wind up the first half, 12 carries, 64 yards. Cincinnati actually stopped the clock there with 6 seconds left, so they're going to make Cleveland earn the halftime break. We're going to pitch it right to Jim Brown on 3rd and 10. And it's a gain of a yard. Still a second to go. And again, Cincinnati calls timeout. Gary Collins will punt. And it is rolling dead at the 43. Now, I don't think the game has the free kick rule where you could free catch the ball. You could do a free kick after a fair catch, but that would have been an interesting rule to put in. So if anybody at Dave Coke Sports sees this video, hey, you might want to put that rule in because it is a rule in the NFL that even if time expires, you are entitled to a free kick after a fair catch. And it happens maybe once every 1 or 2 seasons in the NFL. And you look at YouTube, it's on there. You could see many free kicks attempted from like a kickoff formation. If it goes through, it's 3 points for the team that kicked it. But I digress, and we're at halftime, so I shouldn't be digressing. Your score, Cincinnati 21, Cleveland 7. Ready to start the second half of play now. Big Paulie coming to you. It's 21-7, Bengals over the Browns. Probably an outcome very few were expecting, but Cincinnati, a very good club. This will be my only project today. Tomorrow, Father's Day, I will be back with some out-of-the-park baseball at 8 o'clock. I take the Sundays off for the HTFL. I'll give that a rest, and I'll also be doing Franchise Hockey Manager at 9. So tomorrow night, OTP Perfect Team at 8 and Franchise Hockey Manager at 9. We'll have a little of each for you. Okay, getting the second half started. It's 21-7, Bengals leading. Yeast back deep for Cincinnati. But it's taken by an up back, and that would be Watson, and he gains it 18 to the 19. Anderson, starting today, 8 for 12, 98 yards. First and 10, ball to 19. That give was to Johnson for 4 yards. Another Johnson gets to him again, so it was again a Johnson and Johnson tackle there. Johnson on Johnson. And after that, it's 2nd and 6, ball to 23. And that's a pass thrown and caught by Ross. And that was a gain of 16. May have been injured on the play, but he is staying in. 1st and 10, ball to 39. Anderson throws again to Ross, and Ross has a very nice play of 45 yards. So Anderson now 10 of 14 for 159, and just like that, Cincinnati flips. The field is in business again. 1st and 10 at the 16. They give to Dillon. Dillon, no gain. 2nd and 10 from the 16. They give to Johnson. And Johnson, a battering ram. And he's down to the 1. They bring Bob Trumpy in to play as a second tight end on this first and goal play from the 1 yard line. They give us to Dillon, and Dillon has scored. And Cleveland still looking for the number of the truck that hit them. They now trail 28-7 after a 7-0 lead. Here's Metcalf back deep on the kickoff, and he will return it out to the 31 for a pickup of 28. Milt Plum, 3 for 7, 28 yards. Brown was the leading rusher with 65 yards. Motley not too far behind at 53, but they're not going to be able to depend on their running game in this second half, down 21 before they even got the ball. 10:56 left third quarter. We're going to go medium slant to Bobby Mitchell. And it's caught. 17-yard gain. Parrish on the trip up. Now we'll go to Jim Brown, and we'll pitch it right. Cleveland needs some scores, and they need them quickly, and that's a 4-yard gain for Brown. We'll go to Warfield, medium cross. Plum's going to run, and he gets a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 5. They'll put 4 wideouts in the game, so that will bring Collins, who you see punting the ball, and Benton, Jim Benton, into the game, and they will go medium slant to Benton. But a sack. Spikes. Takeo Spikes out of Auburn with the sack, and it's now 4th and 13. And again, Cleveland will have to punt. Here's Gary Collins, the hero of the 1964 NFL Championship game. He signaled for a fair catch, dropped it, covered it up, and they will start from the 14. The Bengals now, with 8:35 left in the third quarter, lead 28-7. 1st and 10. The pitch to Dillon. Dillon with running room, and he's got 12 yards. And you could see the confidence building in the Bengals with every play. 1st and 10 at the 26 now. A throw to Ross, and Ross has a nice gain again, 28 yards. He has 3 catches on the day for 89 yards, and he had none coming into the second half. 1st and 10, ball to 46. Another long throw, and another catch. Green makes it for 26. Cincinnati on fire at the moment. 1st and 10 at the 20. They're in the red zone. Here's Green, and Green scores. 4 plays, 86 yards. Cincinnati just unconscious against this Browns team. Here's the point after, and it's 35-7. Wow. Graham with the point after. Metcalf back deep for Cleveland, who's got to be recovering. Wondering what in the world just hit him. A return for Metcalf of 30 yards to the 35. 3 wides in the game. Medium slant to Bobby Mitchell on the 1st and 10. And Plum gets a yard. We'll go to Brown on a trap right. And Brown with a nice gain of 10 yards. 5:03 left in the 3rd. Winslow, medium out. Incomplete. A short pass to Mitchell on 2nd and 10. Random short pass. Not caught.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 33. Automatic. 1st down.
They get Fulcher. And it's 1st and 10 at the 48 of Cincinnati now. We'll give it to Brown on a trap right. See if he can take advantage of the unclogged box. And it's 12 yards for Brown. Riley on the stop, or Cincinnati. We'll go Benton on a short slant on 1st and 10. That's caught by Benton, and it's a 1st down. He's one of the 49s, Bobby Mitchell being the other. A 1st and 10 now, or Cincinnati. Short out to Jim Benton. We'll go right back to him. It's caught. 12 yards. And it's 1st and 10 from the 14. Jim Brown on a trap right. Give Plum's arms a rest. 3-yard gain. Parrish shaken up. Injured his hand. Should be back in a few plays. We'll go to Bobby Mitchell. Medium hitch. And Mitchell hauls it in and gets the score. Point after try by Barr finds the mark, and it's 35-14. So we'll see if Cleveland can get back into this game. Yeast back deep for Cincinnati, I'm sorry. 24-yard gain for him on the return. Parrish makes the tackle to 25. Cleveland needs a stop, and Kenny Anderson has been red hot. 341 offensive yards for Cincinnati to 212 for Cleveland. First down. And that's 1 yard gained by Johnson, with Dixon making the tackle. And it's now 2nd and 9 at the 26. Up the middle goes Pete Johnson for 18 yards. And he's got 8 carries for 69. And it's now 1st and 10 at the 44. Cincinnati red hot offensively, and that has continued. Incomplete, tipped by Darden. Was looking for Johnson on the play. Pete Johnson, 2nd and 10 now. Quick pass, incomplete. Was looking for Ross. 3rd and 10 from the 44. I see Collinsworth in there, and that's incompleted. So Cleveland gets the stop they were looking for. And after all of that, we have entered the 4th quarter, so let me just pause here for a moment since I didn't notice that. With 14:46 to go in the 4th quarter, it's 35-14 Cincinnati. I totally forgot that we had already passed the 4th quarter, and I'm sorry that I missed it. 4th and 10, ball to 44. Here's the punt. And we are going to fair catch it. Just get possession of it anyway. Oh, it's back behind the 10. Metcalf made a fair catch at the 8. Ouch. Okay, 1st and 10 for Cleveland at the 8. Medium out for Paul Warfield. Plum will run. A 3-yard gain this time. They've been getting pressure on him. We'll go Mitchell. Medium slant. And that is incomplete. Now a 3rd and 7. Benton, medium out again. Caught, 1st down, and that's good for 17. We're going to go Brown on a sweep to the right, where the tight end is. And it's a nice gain, but a marker down.
Offsides, defense. Number 97, 5-yard penalty.
Atkins gets called for the offside, so Jim Brown has now gone over 100 yards on the day with 102. You know his story. He's out of Syracuse. He had 141 yards last week against San Diego, and could have had a lot more, but they took him out of the game because the game was a blowout. Trap left Jim Brown on for 2nd and 2, and that's a first. Warfield hurt on the play, and he's walking off and should return. They'll bring Collins in, and we will go to him on a short out with 12:49 left in regulation. It's caught, and he gets it 11 yards, pushed out by Riley at the Cincinnati 49. We're going to go Winslow, medium hitch. That's thrown and caught for 16.
Holding offense.
But it's coming
Number
back.
73, 10-yard penalty.
The cheers for Cleveland turn into gasps of exasperation. And we'll go to Brown on a screen on 1st and 20. He can get loose, and that's good for 12 to knock it down to a 2nd and 8. We'll go Warfield, medium slant. Incomplete. 2 defenders converged on Warfield at just the right time. And that now makes it 3rd and 8. Motion, and we will go to Mitchell. on a short hitch. So we'll look for him. A marker down.
False start. Offense.
Oh, not
Number
good.
49. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. Third down.
And that makes it 3rd and 13 and forces Milt Plum out of his element a little bit. We'll go to Warfield on a medium pass. Just any medium pass will do. Incomplete. You say he might have caught it. We have one challenge. We will use it.
Upon further review, the ball was secured before it hit the ground. The pass is complete. No timeout will be charged.
Cleveland uses their only challenge. And I will say again, in HTFL play, each team gets one challenge. All scores and turnovers are looked at by the replay booth as needed. So each team gets one timeout, one challenge per game, per the entire game. And if they use it and are unsuccessful in overturning the challenge, then they lose a timeout. Ball to 37 for a 1st and 10. Jim Brown, trap right. That's a nice gain of 5, 111. Medium fly to Warfield on 2nd and 5. Incomplete, just missed him. And it's now a 3rd and 5 from the 32. They need 3 touchdowns here. To Warfield again, this time on a slant. It's caught. A game of 19. Riley on the triple. Back to Benton, medium out. Want to get something on the board here quick. Benton's got a touchdown. And with 9:06 left in the 4th, this field goal could, this extra point could make it a 14-point game again, and it is good by Barr. 35-21. East back deep for the Bengals. Taken at the goal line. A fumble recovered by Cincinnati, though, as Johnson scooped it up. But Cincinnati starts in a hole. 1st and 10 at the 15. They give to Johnson. Johnson tackled by Johnson. Johnson and Johnson again. A lot of Johnsons in here. No, this is not the movie Blazing Saddles. 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 at the 17. Dillon on the run. He gets a 1st down. Fumble. Covered by Ross. So again, Cincinnati giving their fans a heart attack watching the game on TV. 1st and 10 at the 26. They give to Dillon a 5-yard gain. James on the tackle for Cleveland. 7:13 left to go. 2nd and 5. They give to Johnson. Tackled by Dixon. A 1-yard gain. Now a 3rd and 4. Cleveland exhorting their defense here, but again, a run up the middle by Dillon, another 1st down, another move of the chains. On 3rd downs today, Cincinnati is 3 out of 6. And they have 386 yards to gain to Cleveland's 319. 1st and 10, 5:35 to go. Getting down to crunch time now for Cleveland, a 5-yard gain by Dillon. 4:46 to go, 2nd and 5. A run by Johnson for a yard. 3rd and 4 at the 49. They convert another 1st. They do not. So Cleveland's going to get the ball back. 3:15 to go, so time is not on their side now. And that was a little sideline punt by McAnally, but only for 25 yards, so Cleveland gets a little luck there. They have it at the 26, 3:10 to go. We're going to go a long pass to Warfield. Plum was not known for his throwing arm, but they can't dink it and dunk it down the field now. Benton on a medium slant. Plum runs, and he gets 5. They'll hurry to the line. Warfield short out. Not there. So with 2:39 left, Cleveland will go for it here. They absolutely have to. They need 5 yards. And we'll do a short pass. They'll make them think they're giving it to Mitchell, but instead they'll throw it to Collins. And no, do not call this play because I'm going to make one little change. We're going to go Collins. No. Listen to me. Quarterback must pass it to Collins. Now I want to call the play. Incomplete. And after all that, Cincinnati's got the ball with 2:35 left in the game. They lead by 14. Cleveland's going to use their timeouts here, I would think. 2-yard scramble for Anderson, and Cincinnati gets a 2nd and 8 at 29. Cleveland uses their first timeout. They have 2 left. A throw, an incompletion. Hujmanzada, the intended receiver. Not a great day for Anderson. 13 out of 22 for 233, but they have made big plays at all the right times. 3rd and 8 at the 29 of Cleveland, and that's going to be no gain. Another timeout used. And now a field goal try for Graham from 46, which would pretty much ice it if it goes through, and it does. 38-21 your score. With 2:13 to go. Cleveland will need a miracle. And a 31-yard return by Metcalf. See who else they could use in this situation. We're going to put Bernie Kosar in the game. Guy with a passing arm at least. And we'll go Warfield medium out. Bernie. Off the hands of Warfield. Incompleted. 2nd and 10. 2:05 left, so we will go to Mitchell on a long slant. Incomplete. Mitchell could not hang on. Everybody's got the dropsies all of a sudden. Let's see here. Collins on a medium pass. 3rd and 10. That's incomplete. Well, desperation time now. Medium pass. Plus route to Mitchell. Quarterback must pass. And he's sacked. Fulcher. 10-yard loss. And that should do it. Cincinnati's going to win and knock Cleveland from the ranks of the unbeaten. A 1-yard gain for Dillon. And Cleveland will call a timeout. Disregard the play as Cleveland calls time. 2nd and 9 from 21. They give to Johnson. That's 2 yards gained. $1.35. Give to Dillon. No gain. Graham's going to come on to kick a field goal here, which he misses. And Cleveland gets it back with 5 seconds to go. Can't throw a Hail Mary this deep in your own field, so we'll just throw a bomb to Mitchell. And that'll be the game. Incomplete, and that's it. So your final score, Cincinnati 38, Cleveland 21. Cleveland falls from the ranks of the undefeated. Cincinnati goes to 2-1. Cleveland goes to 2-1. Here are the stats. 339 for Cincinnati, 314 for Cleveland. Both teams misfired from the red zone once, but Cincinnati got 4 touchdowns in the red zone, and Cleveland got 3. Let's see here. Cincinnati actually had 8 runs of 10 or more. So Cleveland had 5. Cincinnati with 4 25-yard throws or more. Cleveland with none. Plum did not have a good day. That's why he got pulled for Bernie Kosar at the end, because he was more of a long passer. Cleveland was better running the ball. Cincinnati had 23 first downs to Cleveland's 20. Both teams not that great at 3rd down and 4th downs. Cleveland missed all of their 4th down conversions and went 0 for 3. Time of possession was about even. So your final, 38-21 Cincinnati, who now go to, like as I was saying, 2-1 on the year. Cleveland falls to 2-1. Cincinnati 120 points in their first 3 games, so that's 40 points a game, but they've also given up 107. Coming up next on Monday, will be Miami at St. Louis, then Tuesday Tampa Bay at New Orleans, and then Jacksonville plays Houston. Again, your final 38-21 Cincinnati over Cleveland. This has been Big Paulie coming to you this Saturday afternoon, June 20, as I record this. We hope you are all well, and we'll catch you again soon. Bye bye for now, everybody.